Hey, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. We are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. Now sit back, relax, and get ready to sip on this hot tea. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Claudia?
Are you clearing your throat too? All right, we're gonna get into that. And what's up, Funky?
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday.
How's everybody feeling? Al, you sick still?
No. I'm feeling much better. I think it's just the humidity.
Got you. Okay. All right. And how you feeling today, Q?
I'm doing good. I am. Y'all are gonna laugh at me in the rest of the United States. I am freezing my ass off in Miami. It is currently 64 degrees outside. So I got my heater on. I'm sitting here with a blanket across my legs. From time to time, if y'all catch me doing like this, it's just because I'm a little chilly.
Oh wow. So yeah, it is. I guess it is really cold down there. Okay. I'm in LA, still in the mountains. I'm losing my voice. I got today and tomorrow off from this horror film. I feel like absolute crap. So we're gonna try to power through this show and get through. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Are you drinking? Al, I saw you have a glass with a champagne.
Yes. They don't have my buttery Chardonnay down here, so the next best thing is Veuve. So here we go. Here's to champagne for the rest of the week.
Okay. Q, you drinking?
You know, I had Cuban food today, and I did have some hoopina soda, but I drank it all before we started. So I'm gonna go back and get some on a commercial break. But yeah, I'm drinking hoopina pineapple soda.
I got a bottle of Tito's in my room. Although when we did this movie, they sent an email. I don't know if it was specifically to, but I felt a little attacked. It was like no weapons, no alcohol, no vaping, like nothing. It was like a whole list. And I bought a whole bottle, so it's in my room, but I'm just not going to drink it tonight. All right, y'all, let's get into these stories. We have an update on Diddy. He's breaking his silence by posting the statement to his Instagram account. He said, for the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of those awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and my truth. What are your thoughts on Diddy's statement? Let's go to you first, Al. What are your thoughts? You believe it?
First of all, the statement doesn't even sound like something that he would say. It's not in his language. We talked about it on the show before that we knew after the Cassie situation dropped and came out that more people were going to feel like they should come out and share their story. And that's exactly what's happening. And it's almost like we called it, right? And in this particular case, Diddy issued the statement, and then another case has dropped, which is the girl who's 17 years old allegedly said that she was gangbanged by Diddy and Harvey Pierre. We know Harvey Pierre and Diddy are good friends. She has pictures being in the studio at 17 years old. And I'm just thinking to myself, how can you issue a statement with so much confidence, with so much bravado, with so much convincing verbiage, but at the same time, this is coming out? That girl was 17 years old. Now, in the state of New York, it's okay. Not okay, sorry, wrong word. In the state of New York, it's not against the law for a 17-year-old to consent to have sex with an older man. However, Claudia, 17, that's the age of his daughters. That's the age of his daughters. Just everything about this, as I learn more and as it more starts to uncover, it's just making me just really sad for the victims. And it's really just, it's causing me to be really just disgusted with the whole thing. And it's also making me sad for his kids and his family. This is really bad, and it doesn't look good.
It does not. Q, what do you think about this and this post that he put up? And he turned the comments off, might I add, on this and all of his pictures. He turned all the comments off if you weren't already in there.
You know what? I can understand anybody's compulsion to want to say something, right? To want to do it. This, like I get it. Guilty or innocent, I can understand somebody doing it. You know, in the statement, the comment that I did not like is, "I will fight for my whatever, my family and whatever." Your family ain't under attack. Your family is just fine. We ain't got no problem with the family. We still love your children, including your boys, just as long as they shut the hell up. Like, your boys have been very smart They have just shut the hell up. And if they want to continue to work, I think it's in their best interest to shut the hell up. Quiet as it's kept. The whole family should probably disappear from social media for a little bit, including you, Puffy. And I wasn't there, nor did I participate, but I believe every single word. I believe every single word. And I think you got to kind of put yourself in the victim's headspace. I think that statement, coupled with the few women that have come out, is going to infuriate and empower even more people to come out. I think the other women that may be chilling in the wings are going to be like, oh, you didn't do nothing? Let me tell you. Oh, I got you. Let me tell my story. Like, I honestly think that's what's about to happen. It feels like Bill Cosby wasn't the only one. Puff Daddy, R. Kelly wasn't the only one. Diddy wasn't the only one. And hopefully, but not hopefully, this launches a whole train of everybody coming out and getting justice.
So let me ask you this.
Can I jump in here? What's crazy to me is you're saying who you're fighting for, your family, your friends, your reputation. Not one near person has come out in support of Diddy. No one said, this isn't the guy that I know. They're just either choosing to say nothing. Actually, they're just choosing to say nothing. And the silence is deafening. No one of all the people that you allegedly touched their lives and helped out and was a part of their lives has stepped out to say anything in support of you or against these allegations. No one's saying that's not like you. They're just staying out of the way. And like I said a few weeks ago, a lot of women have been keeping the secrets of these men for a long time. And as annoying it may be to hear about these 5, 6, 7, another one, here we go. This is the tip of the iceberg. I was at dinner last night with a few of my girls that have been in the business and music videos, singing, acting. They reminded me of so many more stories about people in this business. And I'm telling you, it is a wicked cesspool of personalities. A lot of these men didn't have it popping when they were younger. They got in positions of power and they chose to abuse people and get their lick back. And Diddy, shut the hell up, because like I agree with you, Funky, because I read that, I was like, oh, word? Is that a dare? You should have, it was way too premature. And to turn the comments off, it gave coward. What we going to say, Al?
Oh, you kind of touched on it. You know, what I want to know is you talked about no one has stepped into the space to defend him. Miss Carisha, where are you at, Carisha Speaks? You have a whole lot to say on the internet when people attack you and your man in the past. I need to know, Miss Carisha, where you stand on this. Where do you stand on all these rape allegations? Where do you stand on all these assault allegations? Where do you stand on
what you not finna do is do my Miami sister like this. The headline of the article do not have Carisha name nowhere in it. These are not Carisha charges.
But Carisha usually speaks in the space. When anything's ever talked about Diddy, she steps up and she defends her man.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Claudia said, he's changed many people's lives.
Why do we do that?
And why aren't they supporting him?
Let me ask you a question. Why, what you just did, and don't get me wrong, and you know, of course we all want to hear, why do we do that though? What does it change to anything to hear Carisha articulate whatever she can, the best she can for her level of speaking? What does that do for you? Because at the end,
it's not about what it would do. What it would do for me.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Because the only thing that there is to say about this situation, unequivocally, without question, is it's bad. He did it. We've seen the paperwork. So why is it a requirement that you hear something from her?
So I'm gonna share with you, Q. As of now, we know that she's been his love interest the last couple of years. She's been the closest to him these last couple of years. It would be interesting, and I would give what she says a lot of weight because she's the one that knows him, has experienced him, has been in his life. So to hear her say to the public, hey guys, This is not the puppy that I know. The puppy I know is loyal. The puppy I know is sweet. The puppy I know is nurturing and loving. It just plants in the mind of others that it could be a money draw. That's all I'm saying.
So y'all can eat her up?
I'm sorry?
I said, so y'all can eat her up? The minute she says anything, y'all are going to slice that girl up like Pico de Gallo. So I think she's doing the smart thing by not saying anything.
I think there's a couple reasons, and I know we have to move on, that people aren't saying anything, and none of them are good. A, they knew about it. B, they were a part of it. Or C, they know what he's capable of in retribution. That's it. That's my opinion. All right, moving on. Well, we have a lot of comments. We have to move on, though. I think I'll read one. The commander-in-chief said she could possibly be a current victim, so why pressure her to speak? We don't know that. That's true. All right, the Jonathan Majors assault trial is getting interesting. Jonathan's ex-girlfriend and accuser, Grace Jabari, took to the stand and shared details about the assault and Jonathan's past aggressive behavior. She also shared a recording, allegedly, of Jonathan going off on her and telling her she needed to be more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. What are your thoughts on Jonathan's alleged behavior, Q?
Let me tell you something. Whoever from whatever side of the courtroom, they know exactly which headlines and pieces of the transcript to release in order to get people riled up. I mean, just the thought of a black man telling a white woman that she needs to be more like two of the biggest female, black influences of the civil rights movement. It's just laughable and upsetting. I know that it's extremely ignorant to look at somebody physically and say they look like they did it. But I'm ready for us to wrap this shit up already. Jonathan Majors is another one. I don't have to hear another court transcript or anything. He did this shit. He did it. You know what, y'all? It's like I'm not even in the mood tonight to be politically correct. He did it, and I almost said Megan Thee Stallion and Megan the Good. You look stupid. Megan the Good, I'm kind of done with you too, because you look stupid as hell at this point. You just look dumb. You look dumb. You look leased out. You look dumb. Your ass ain't even spent this much time going to damn auditions. We have actually seen you walking in more courtrooms than we've seen you walking on red carpets. I have more mental images of you walking holding his hand than the amount of movies you've ever made in your career. What are you doing? And can Jonathan Majors pay his people off or whatever so we can be done with this?
Oh, what do you think?
Al, is that what you said?
Sorry, my voice is like struggling right now.
No worries. I'm like Q on this one. I got to agree with him. The more I learn about Jonathan Majors, especially during this trial, the more not only do I don't understand him, but I'm starting not to like him. Like Q said, how dare you compare two of our black female icons of the entire culture to a white woman in a plan? What plan is he talking about? See, this is the part that's so crazy, guys. Unless you read the documents, he was the one that contacted the police. He came home the next day. She was passed out in the living room because she took cough medicine from hanging out and she was stressed out. She took cough medicine. She passed out on the floor in the living room. He walks in, sees that she's passed out, called the police because he thinks she's going to hurt herself. The police come and ask her what happened, and she tells the truth that she got in a fight. He beat her up. Okay, how many levels of this don't make any sense do we have to have in this situation? And now he finds himself in this situation. His career is completely marked. I think he can probably come back. And then on top of that, he's taken one of our favorite black females down too, because she's looking crazy, just like Q said. The Megan Good that we fell in love with, to find out that she fell in love with him only a week or two after, because him and the girl were living in an apartment together in Chelsea. So I guess a week or two after when he got charged, he all of a sudden fell in love with Megan. Maybe they were dating before, but they didn't fell in love, and now she can't leave his side. This all just feels contrite. It feels bad. It feels slimy, if I got to be honest.
You know, I hear you about taking one of our beloved ones down, but it doesn't have to. And we as the media don't have to give her strays just because we don't like him. I've dated people before and been 100% against their actions. And I was with them for a dumb period. And then I snapped the hell out of it. And then I smartened up, or I saw the light. But while I was in it, in love, dumb, digmatized, whatever you want to call it, it happens. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm better than that, that we've not, a lot of people do this. I don't want her to catch strays for his actions. And he's still in a trial. Guilty, innocent until proven guilty. It does look bad. I am with y'all on that. It looks stupid as hell. And him saying this stuff about being like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama is ridiculous. I never saw the appeal of him myself, but that's why I'm not with him. You know what I mean? I don't see the appeal in him. But I hate that, if she's bounced on him early, you're not standing by your man. That's just like a black woman to run when it gets hard. And then if she sticks by his side, she's being stupid and she should be punished for his actions. I'm focusing on Jonathan Majors, and that's it. I'm focused
No. Like I agree with you in certain conversations, in certain situations, but in this instance, she deserves every stray she's catching, and here is why: no one put her in this.
Right.
You only been with the MF for 2 weeks after the other woman. If we're to believe the timeline. I don't care where you come from. That ain't enough to be going to court with nobody. All right. And you're making it your business. We know what this court thing is, and we know the importance of getting out of the car and who you walk in with and what color you wear. We know that it's all contrived. You decided Megan Good to be a character in this play. So, baby, you get the round of applause and the standing ovation and the encore that comes along with being in this play. I'm sorry she's one of our Black favorites, and that's fine and well. But I'm going to be honest with her. You look stupid as hell. And to be quite honest, and y'all ain't going to like this, you kind of look crazy considering the fact that it was only 2 weeks between the other girl and you. So were you messing with him when he was with the other girl? Or are we to believe you magically fell in love with him 2 weeks after he got with the other girl? Either way, you look stupid as hell. And there's no way around it. And you are choosing to catch these strays because instead of taking your ass to an acting class or to an audition, you're deciding to play Coretta Scott King or Betty Shabazz getting out of the limousine every day. What are we to do with that?
She had time. There was no auditions or red carpets to go through because we just came off of actors strike. So that's number one. So there was no red carpet to go to. It was actually against policy to walk a red carpet. Like I said, I can agree with being dumb for love, but I don't think she deserves. We're spending more time talking about Megan Good than Jonathan Majors, and he's the one that's the alleged abuser, and that's what I don't like.
Because there's nothing more to say about him. He did the shit. He did it.
He put himself in that relationship, and she has his back, right? But why
she injected herself into the conversation.
No, we're injecting ourselves into her relationship that we don't know all the facts of. That's all I'm saying.
She should tell it to us then. If you gonna get your ass out that limousine every day and stand by your man, and you see the media and the press, and you got homegirls, then explain the shit to us then. And until she's ready to do that, you look dumb.
I'm just not a fan of people sitting up in these boxes that have not had perfect relationships and perfect lives, me included, to act so judgmental and perfect when no one on this panel is perfect.
Oh, I can tell you one thing.
And we're not acting perfect. We're just giving our opinion.
Okay, well, you see the
down unequivocally, and I can stand no business on this. I ain't never been dumb for no man. I have never in my life been dumb for no man. This ain't
about attacking each other because we've all give
glimpses. We have not.
We've all give glimpses of being held over.
I think we have to go to commercial. You do.
But let's not make it thing about us. I'm just saying again, other people are catching strays for Jonathan Majors alleged.
Well, she should stay her ass home.
Okay,
can we go to commercial, please?
I've been trying to. Coming up next, find out what's got us saying, "Not me, girl," and later. Mike Tyson, Q and his hypocrisy. Mike Tyson is fighting for his money. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
All right, welcome back to TGIF. Of course, if you just joined us, it was just spicy. And I'm going to read a couple of comments from the chat. Let's see what the chat had to say. Q versus Claudia and Al laughing loud as hell. Shelly Mills said she chose to be there, knowing the situation and what could happen. That's definitely on Q's side. And High Society said Q picks and chooses what side of the bed to slide out of, giving indecisive vibes. All right, Glowing My Way said two things are true. Megan looks stupid and Carisha needs to keep quiet. Oh, that was smoke. That was smoke for both of us. They said you the same way with Carisha that I'm being with Megan. All right, equal smoke we got here. All right, we hear some crazy stories about every day, and these next stories got us saying,
"Not me, girl. Not me, girl."
We finally got it right. Good job, production. All right, hey, a woman was shocked when only two of her friends showed up to her birthday. Take a look.
So, y'all, I had a celebratory dinner with my friends now, my close friends, for a party of 13, right? Tell me why only two of my friends at the whole 13 showed up. Don't nobody better invite me to their birthday stuff, to their baby shower, to their bitch, I'm not coming.
Would y'all be upset if your friends didn't show up to your event, or is it a not me girl? Alex, go to you first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would, and I have been upset when people that I've supported throughout the year don't support me when it's time to support me. I think birthday depression is real, and I think that all of us can learn that we need to stop having expectations of people to celebrate us on our birthday, and we just need to focus on celebrating ourselves. And second, baby, this is a blessing in disguise. You now get to see who your real friends are, the ones that you really should be supporting, and not just the ones that don't show up. You show up for them, but they don't show up for you.
All right, Q.
You know what? It's weird because I have I guess a weird connection with birthdays. In my family, we never grew up like making a big deal out of birthdays and holidays and stuff. So I'm not a birthday person. It actually kind of makes me a little uncomfortable when people are like, oh, we want to, put together something for you. I'm one of those people that always downplays. And I'm like, no. Y'all don't got to make a big deal. One of my friends was like, Q, you need to learn to let people love on you. And in recent years, I've just thrown my hands up, and if somebody wants to take the reins and they invite 5 or 6 people to the birthday, I just go along with it. But I'll say this. I don't know this woman from a can of paint. I don't know all the details. I don't know what day it was on, what time it was on, if she threw it on the day before Thanksgiving and that's why people didn't come. I don't know any of these things. I will say that it's hard for me to believe that you have 13 close friends. And it's also, I just kind of think, Claudia, as highly intuitive beings, you kind of know who to invite to these types of things. You know what I'm saying? And just the fact that the overwhelming majority of people that she invited did not show up, honestly and truthfully, I think it reads worse on her than it does on them, because it's giving a thirsty tease, and like you were just out here inviting randoms that you kind of had to know weren't your friends.
I guess it's a not me girl as far as getting mad, because I too grew up not making a real big deal about my birthday. I actually remember a really painful birthday. I don't know if I want to share it, be made fun, and get the last right now, because it's kind of sad. But in my adult life, when someone would do something for my birthday, it was such a big deal to me, because my childhood, I remember a painful one of a parent not showing up when they went all out for my brother, and being 12. Oh, fuck it, I'll just share it. My brother, in my family, I always felt like the boys got treated way better than the girls in my family. I'm on my black side, and that's the side I grew up with. And it's like all the girls feel like kind of like that. And I remember my brother, like my father showing up, and they were already divorced, and he brought him like a boom box and was there for the party. And then my birthday came around and he didn't even come. And it stayed with me. And I know things like that, like childhood things like that, not that big of a deal now, but they really do shape our perceptions and our expectations. So I really thought my birthday was not that big of a deal. So when I got older and friends would celebrate it, I'm pleasantly surprised. So like you, my expectations are really, really low, and I celebrate myself. I'll do like you, go get a bow. Hey, if y'all want to come, y'all come. You know what I mean? To manage, I think it's to manage the heartbreak, maybe disappointment.
For me, it's and I had to learn this through a previous romantic relationship. Affection towards me makes me feel uncomfortable because I wasn't used to getting it. So for me, it's managing the discomfort. And then two, I'm just a courteous person. I'm just not big about making people have to rearrange their schedules and whatnot in order to do something, call me a Grinch, so arbitrary as a birthday dinner. Like if I had a dinner and you and Al were unable to make it, I would feel no ways tired. I honestly wouldn't, because my true friends, I know that their support and their friendship is bigger than splitting a bill with 4 other people at the Red Lobster. So it's not that big a deal for me.
Producers, I know we spent a lot more time on that. It's supposed to be Not Me Girl. So we'll go fast on this next one. We'll just answer the question. All right. Check this out. A 70-year-old Ugandan woman delivered twins just 3 years after she welcomed her first child. The woman named Safina is now the oldest new mother in the continent of Africa. Are we here for seniors having babies, or is it a Not Me Girl?
Not me girl. I think it's very unfair to a child to be, those children are lucky if they make it to 20 and she's still alive.
Al?
I'm here for it. I mean, she detailed very sadly that she was mocked all her life, being that she's from Africa and being that she's from that particular tribe, that everyone used to treat her like a peasant because she wasn't able to have a child. So for her to kind of get the vindication to, prove to the people that she is worthy, just like the rest of them, I kind of felt for this story and I like it.
Oh, I have mixed feelings on this, because I actually thought that I started menopause this month. And then I was surprised that it didn't happen. So it kind of, I have felt this sadness, but I'm like, I guess if it didn't happen for her, then it happened then, I should be happy. I'm sure she had a lot of help. I can't give her a Not Me Girl, because you know what? Maybe she wanted to do that her whole life. And yeah, it's sad for the kid, but it's happy for her. I don't know.
So,
50-50?
Claudia, did you know that 600 women a year in the United States over 50 have children? Don't give up. You still have a chance. Don't give up. And you got money. Don't get the IVF.
We were talking about that last night. Oh, no. All right. A new study was released just in time for the holidays. According to Spookio, 17% of workers admitted to cheating on their partners at an office holiday party. Couple psychologist Matt Lindquist said people tend to form intimate bonds with colleagues because of workplace stress and for the thrill of possibly getting caught. Have y'all ever had your bells jingles at a holiday office party, or is it not me, girl? I already know who I'm going to first. That would be Al Reynolds.
Nah, look, I'm a black male trying to be successful in every industry. I would never give them anything to not make me the best at the job and promote me to the top. But I'm gonna tell you, Claudia, did you know that the industry or workers that cheat the most are people that work in sales and retail? Second are teachers. Teachers are the biggest cheaters during the holidays with, cheating. And guess who's third? Healthcare workers. Okay. And guess who are the least likely to cheat? The least likely to cheat are scientists. They say law enforcement, even though I don't believe that because we've covered a couple of those stories. And guess who else? Lawyers. Lawyers are least likely to cheat on the job.
Because they too busy cheating out their clients for money. They get the satisfaction there. Q, not me, girl? Or
it's definitely not me, girl. I've never rendezvoused with anybody at work, and I've never gone to an office Christmas party, believe it or not. That's kind of just, now when we talk about not going to parties, those are the types of parties that I just don't show up at. I rarely like the people I work with. I rarely liked any job that I've had. So damn sure after 6 o'clock, I wasn't going to buy an outfit to come mingle with these people.
When Foxx Soul first started, the first year before y'all got here, they did have a Christmas party, right? The first year that we were in, and I went. It was super packed, but man, I was getting all people was gossiping and tea. I was like, okay, I would have came back, but then they had the pandemic, and anyways. All right, coming up next, find out why a man is jabbing for Mike Tyson's money, and later Jamie Foxx talks about his healthcare scare. Keep it locked.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
I don't want to jump you, but you don't even qualify to speak on this. So fucking good.
TGIF. Live and interactive.
I need to clear this up, y'all. You are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook.
I'm finna test you out right here. What are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh?
Don't do me.
On Foxx Soul.
Don't you do me. Don't try it. Welcome back to TGIF. Okay, we always giving you the life hacks to make your life more convenient and more yummy and more financially easy for you. So let's get into it. Life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should payday, the money you earn, can be in your hands today with Earnin? Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 per day or up to $750 per period, per pay period. Just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. This is a fantastic thing. If you don't want to borrow from people and ask your friends and family and stress them out, especially before the holidays, you can actually just borrow from yourself. Now, make earning a part of your financial routine and join Earning's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about earning, I think about financial stability, security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in T under podcast when you sign up, and that'll really help our show. It's TEA under podcast, subject to your available earnings, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, members FDIC. Al, what you think about Earnin? How do you feel?
I think it's a brilliant concept, Claudia. I think, especially during the holidays, that's when we overextend ourselves. That's usually when we have unexpected bills. And Earnin is a way for you to be able to still pay those bills and stay fiscally responsible, because after you get paid, you automatically pay back that loan that you've taken. I like it, and I promise you, I am going to be more of an advocate for Earnin, especially so that I can stop my friends or associates from asking me for money.
Oh, okay. You?
Look at Al stole my talking point. That's literally what I was about to say. I always used to tell the story about how I wish that something like this was around when I was in college, because I was one of those people that got caught in the cycle of the payday loan thing. And for those who live in states where payday loans are legal, we all know that they can be very predatory, and Earnin definitely is not predatory. And for those of us who don't necessarily need Earnin, if you've got people who are always asking you for money and you're tired of filling in the gap for them, you should definitely refer them to Earnin, because it'd be a great way to get them off of your back, and a less embarrassing way, a more dignified way for them to get the funds that they need to get them over that hump.
All right.
Now, Claudia, to be honest, this is real conversation here. How many times have people tried to borrow money from you and say, I'll pay you back on payday? So instead of you falling for it, you can push back and say, hey, do Earnin. It's better. It's easier. You can decide the amount that you get instead of settling for what I give you.
They will definitely get the link. All right, promotional considerations furnished by Earnin. Let's get back to some topics. I want to address some in the chat. A lot of people commenting on my hair. Listen, Joseph Savage, Claudia's hair looks like she just heard her back broke. And what's up, Project Beauty? I'm trying to figure out Claudia's hair, wig, what's going on? I'm working on a horror film. I got fake blood in my hair last night. I washed it and I do not feel good. So this is what you're going to get today. I let it air dry. So that's it. All right. Leave me alone now. Okay. Speaking of money, it looks like Mike Tyson might have to pay up for punching a man on a flight last year. Remember that story? We covered that here at TGIF. Mm-hmm. The victim, Melvin Townsend, is demanding Mike pay him $450,000 to avoid a future lawsuit. A video of the incident showed Melvin harassing Mike and throwing a water bottle at him before Mike punched Melvin out. Do you think this is a money grab, or should Mike pay up? Q?
It's definitely a money grab. If it was one of those things where the man was wanted $25,000 or something like that, I would say, child, just pay it and not have to deal with the aggravation and being drugged through the media. But then, Claudia, you just read the detail. He was antagonizing Mike and he threw a water bottle at him. I'm pretty sure any reasonable jury is probably going to tell that boy to go to hell. You know what I'm saying? But that you started this, and it's just unfortunate though, because when you file a lawsuit against someone, they have to spend money on a legal team, and Mike may have to spend $50, $60, $80, $100,000 defending this BS. And so, there are instances where it's just easier to give the person $30,000 to make it go away. I hope Mike doesn't have to pay anything. But this is kind of also too what happens when you're a celebrity. You don't get the same grace that other people get. You kind of got to remember, even though you got hit with the water bottle, you're the one that's worth millions. Do you really want to punch this person out?
Alia Green said, but that was self-defense. Al, what do you think?
Unfortunately, Q, I got to disagree with you on this one. It would make sense if Mike didn't have such a long rap sheet of assault and battery, of rape, of driving defensive, running people off the road, car accidents, sexual harassment. He just has an extremely long rap sheet, and he also has judge-ordered treatment for his aggressive behavior. So you just don't want to bring all that back to light, because Mike, over the course of the last 5 or so years, he's done an excellent job of keeping it all under wraps and keeping it cool. His cannabis company is making a lot of money, and for Mike, it would be cheaper for you and your brand to just settle with this idiot and try your best not to go off the hook again. Because unfortunately, if you do go to trial, they're going to bring up the years. We have 20 years of him being off hinge and attacking people and hurting them. And you just don't want the jury or the people who decide to hear that information to skew it against you, considering what this incident was.
Now, I don't rock with no Mike Tyson. I do not do Mike Tyson, but hey, if you're right, you're right, you're wrong, you're wrong. In this particular case, yeah, his history is horrific. He raped my best friend back in the 90s and was convicted of it, went to prison for 3 years, not alleged, did it, went to jail for it. Okay, so you know how I feel about him. But I will say in this case, the man was looking, I think he was looking for a payday. Let me throw a bottle at this man who I know is unstable, who I know has a history, who I know I'm gonna get him to hit me so that I can go and collect money. It's obvious he was doing that. And as much as I can't stand you, and I think you're a horrible human being, I will say that in this regard, you should not have to pay anything. You shouldn't even be in this situation, because this guy, he got what he deserved. He asked for. All right, keep it locked, because coming up next, Jamie Foxx gets emotional about his health scare and later find out what it's like to date one of us. Stick around.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
I don't want to jump you, but you don't even qualify to speak on your so
fucking good.
TGIF, live and interactive.
I need to clear this up, y'all. You are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook.
I'm finna test you out right here. What are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh?
Don't do me.
On Fox Soul.
Don't you do me. Don't try it.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all. Jamie Foxx recently gave an emotional speech at the Critics' Choice Association Awards. Jamie took some time to talk about his health crisis. Take a look.
I wouldn't wish what I went through on my worst enemy, because it's tough when it's almost over, when you see the tunnel. I saw the tunnel, I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel, so I don't know where I was going.
Jamie continued his speech, expressing thanks to his supporters and joking about the cloning rumors. This is his first public appearance since he was rushed to the hospital earlier this year. What are your thoughts on Jamie's speech? Funky, let's go to you.
I'm glad that he's alive and well. we, the public, we can't dictate when somebody speaks on their personal situation and all of that. And for the most part, I do agree. Me personally, and I'm about to talk to my therapist about this, I'm still just a little upset at how long Jamie chose to let it linger with all the rumors and all the prayers and stuff. And we're seeing him on yachts and stuff. And he, didn't even come out and put a post up saying, hey guys, I'm alive. I'm still a little upset about that personally. But all in all, I'm glad he's doing well.
All right. Al, what are your thoughts?
I thought the speech was awesome. I thought it was heartfelt. I think that I'm glad to see him fully recovered. We know and learned since this incident that he had 7 projects that he's got coming out in the next 12 to 24 months. So I can't wait to see those 7 projects. But we still don't know why he was in the hospital. And I'm like Q, I still feeling some kind of way about you share everything else, then, I just really want him to get to the point of being able to share that with us too, because that's important. We were your fans and we felt neglected there for a minute and you not sharing and telling us what's going on. Now, put all that aside. Now, I'm nosy, so I need to know about these sexual assault case that he's got coming up. And I need to know if that's true or not as well. So hopefully Jamie will be a little bit more transparent with us. And hopefully he'll put all this stuff to rest so that we can prepare ourselves to see these great 7 projects he's got coming up.
Unlike Diddy, Jamie Foxx is actually fighting for his reputation. I think that case might end up getting thrown out from what I've been seeing online. I found that I side-eyed that case when I heard it, just being around him and knowing the kind of person he is. He's a fun guy. And I don't think he's going to push anything on anyone. Again, I wasn't there, so I'm just going with my opinion. I'm not saying I don't know the girl. As far as this thing right here with Jamie, he actually, I got to push back. He doesn't share a lot about his life. He doesn't really talk about his baby mamas. He's never been really vocal about that. He keeps his relationship pretty. He doesn't like it. And actually, being in that camp for a while, he gets very very protective over stuff like that. Like, I remember there was people in his camp that was leaking stuff from his house, and he had that stuff addressed. And I know he does not want his business out there. So I'm not shocked that he didn't want to tell us, and he still doesn't want to, because that's kind of like how he's always been. Heartfelt speech, made me want to cry, actually, because it seemed that it was maybe worse than what we thought it was, and that he couldn't walk for a while. So, Jamie, I'm glad you're out there, and I don't think you're a clone. And I'm glad you're on your way. All right. The romance between TJ Holmes and Amy Robach seems to be going strong after their scandalous affair. On the first episode of their podcast, Amy and TJ Podcast, the 2 former Good Morning America hosts discussed their romance and how the public backlash affected their mental health. Now, get this. It's being reported that TJ and Amy's exes are now dating each other. Let's go to you first, Al. What do you think about this?
I like it. I like it. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, baby. And this absolutely does not bother me. I like it. Now, if there was a picture or a saying of shit on them, they are shitting on them. And what would be even better than that is if the 2 of them pitched a show and got it, because we know that TJ and Amy tried to pitch a show. No one would touch it, and they did get a podcast. I also thought about this, when you break up, you have kids, both of them have kids. We know from watching past pictures and seeing past pictures, this couple have hung out before. The kids have hung out before. They all worked at GMA. So we know that they've spent a lot of time together. So for the sake of the kids, this is the perfect transition. Look. Mom and dad still, the family unit's not broken up. We're still together. Everybody's still together. Everybody's enjoying themselves. I like it. I can't wait to see if it's real, and I hope it is, so that we can see how this all manifests.
I want to take a double date. They should just went on wife swap, and that way they wouldn't have lost their good paying job. Q, what do you think about this? Is it cute? Is it not cute? Is it like what? What do you think?
There is nothing whatsoever cute about this. It's trashy. It's confusing about the kid. It's confusing to the children. If I was Amy and TJ, I would be sitting back laughing my asses off at them, saying, cha-ching, we won, because this is obviously a trauma bond. It's like it literally is the equivalent of when you have an enemy and then you fall out with your friend and then your friend go over there and sit up with your enemy and now they BFFs. The only thing y'all bitches got in common is me. The only thing y'all sitting over there at the dinner table talking about is me. This is I don't think it's going to last. I think it's nasty. And I don't think it's healthy. Now, from a Lifetime movie perspective, does it look like payback? Sure. Like Al said, you know, if they got a show and would have become the next hottest, you know, Regis and Kathy Lee, you know, would that be poetic justice? Sure. But the likelihood of that happening, in my opinion, is slim to none. And I just think that this is just a little trashy.
Claudia, would this not be the best reality show you've seen in a couple of years? If they turn this into a reality show and watching them having to co-parent, this would be some good content.
Well, Wraith X7 said, I think that both couples might have been swinging with each other. And Joseph Savage said, you know, I'm actually here for them together. They went through hell and stayed together. And then Lee Jones said he's going to do that white chick the same way he did his wife. What makes her any different? I guess we shall stay tuned. Coming up, we take a deep dive into our dating lives. Uh-oh, keep it here. We'll be right back.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get into this next discussion on dating. Check out this tweet. Disadvantages of dating you. All right, Q, let's get into it. Let's start with you. What are the disadvantages that come along with dating you?
I'm going to force you to communicate. And I think for some people, they find that hard. It's actually something that I'm currently experiencing. I don't do evasiveness well. I don't do deflecting well. I don't do silent treatment. I don't do texting. I don't do changes in patterns. I don't do you've been missing for 2 or 3 days. It's very what's up? And then when you're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, well, actually, you're not fine because I haven't talked to you for 2 days. So what's going on? Can you please just talk to me? where does our relationship stand? I'm learning that I can be very demanding of communication to a point where it makes the other person uncomfortable. That's actually something that I just realized recently, or so I'm told. So yeah.
Well, D Meat said, "I'll date you, Funky. We can communicate." All right, Al. What are the disadvantages of dating you?
Because you guys know I have 11 jobs. What I get a lot is that I'm not available. That I'm always on the move. I'm doing a lot, and they want more time. Another thing that I get is I come from a big family, and we're super close, and family's super important to me. So I drag my mates into my family life because it's very important that my family likes the person I'm dating, as well as the person I'm dating liking my family. And a lot of people feel like that's a lot of pressure because I'm the youngest of 6, so it's a lot of them to go through. It's a lot of them to kind of fill out. So those are the 2 things that if you date Al, you're going to see him working a lot. He's gone a lot because he's chasing the bag, and he incorporates his family into the relationship. Now, it doesn't get a more priority. Family doesn't get a more priority, but it's very important that my family likes you and you like my family.
All right. Minor, I get that busy thing too a lot. Like I feel like there's nothing I could do for you. That if the guy doesn't really have it together, they're gonna feel some kind of way. I've had someone say that. I feel like you pour into me, but I can't pour into you the same. And I think that's sad because I'm not looking for necessarily that. And I'm gonna hold you to the man that you say you are. The person you tell me you are, I'm holding you to that. Whatever promises you made to me, I'm that your word is your bond, just like mine is. So if you're not ready to be held to the things that you told me, don't date me. Do not. Because what you see is what you get. I'm going to do everything I say I'm going to do. And everything I say, I do it. So I'm going to hold you to that. And yeah, those 2 things. All right. Switching gears, now that 2023 is wrapping up, we can now look forward to the new year and the highly anticipated 2024 presidential election. Yesterday, President Joe Biden told some of his donors that he wasn't sure if he would run again if Donald Trump wasn't running for election 2. President Biden said we cannot let him win. Do you think this next year's election, will be crazier than before, if it's even possible? Al, let's start with you first.
Absolutely. Even though Biden is always putting his foot in his mouth, that was a ridiculous thing to say. He shouldn't have said it, but I get it. And I will say this. I will run on a ticket. I will vote for a ticket that's voting against Trump. I absolutely cannot go another 4 years with his ridiculousness. So if this is what we got, then I definitely would choose them.
All right, Q.
I 100% agree with Al. Unfortunately, I think that we're going to experience a lot of voter apathy on the Democratic side. I think a lot of people we voted, we didn't necessarily vote for Biden, we voted against Trump. And I know a lot of people don't understand the way government works. That put aside, a lot of people still feel like they didn't get anything for their vote. There's a lot of people out there that feels like Joe and Kamala ain't do shit. They ain't doing nothing. And folks are not tangibly seeing what they've done. I hate to be a pessimist, but I honestly just don't think that Joe Biden is going to win this next election. Not because they won't run a good race, but because the people on Trump's side are just so energized and the people on the Democratic side are so apathetic. I think that the Trump side is just really going to show out to the polls and the Democratic side's not.
I mean, Trump didn't lose like percentage wise, like, some places it came down to 22,000 votes. You know what I mean? So with all you got to do is siphon off a little 2% here, 3% there. And there's a lot of black men that have been going hard for Trump, and not to blame it all on them. But I've been shocked at how many that I've been seeing. Blacks for Trump, black men for Trump. We're getting off the plantation. And it's sad because it sucks that these are our 2 options. And it also sucks that the Democratic Party has never been good at marketing the things that they have done that's right. And they don't brag like Trump does. And we might possibly get our butts kicked. I don't know. All right, y'all. I want to thank Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva for doing their thing and for being here and doing such a good show. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Make sure you check it out tomorrow on the replay and hit that like button. Stay tuned for Foxx Soul Face Off We're gonna see y'all back here tomorrow. Y'all have some fun tonight. Y'all having some fun tonight?
What is Face Off?
I'm finna eat this Cuban food and go to sleep. You know, Face Off.
They debate like how me and Q be debating, and actually all of us be debating. It go hard.